Hi guys, how are you doing? This is Sebastian from TechCentury and welcome to this new video. Now today is all about a brand new gimbal and this is the FeiyuTech AK2000C. Now when this box arrived I actually thought that they sent out the wrong one because the box was just so small. Because you might remember that I actually made a video with the AK2000, which is the predecessor, around a year ago, and you can see that this box is significantly bigger, so I'm really eager to see what they can fit into this much smaller box. So let's get started with the unboxing. So here we then see the box, so let's get this plastic off there and then cut the tape and see what's inside. So now that we can open the box, we can also see that there's some foam to protect the gimbal from any damage, which is always good and nice to see. And then next up, when we lift the cover, we already see the gimbal itself, all the accessories, cables, and first off, of course, also the quick start guide with some nice QR codes. Next up, we'll then move to the cables itself, and there are quite a lot of them, so let's untangle them and then actually get a closer look at what cables are included in this box. So we'll start off with a Type-C to Type-C cable. Next up, we'll then have a Type-C to multi-port, following up with a Type-C to TRS 2.5mm. Next up, a DC 2.5mm, and then Type-C to micro USB. Last but not least, we also have, of course, a charging cable included, and this is USB Type-A to Type-C. But now let's leave the cables behind and take a look at the accessories. First up, we'll have this really nice tripod here, which has a very nice heft to it, makes a premium impression and is also rubberized on the outside. So this will be nice to place the gimbal on, also for automatic movement, for example. Then we'll have this little plastic bag containing two screws. The first one is used to connect the camera to the riser plate and the second one for the lens support. Talking of lens support, this is the thing that we have next. So this little thing right here. And then we also have next up this riser plate that's used to connect the camera to the gimbal itself. We also have this little wrench right here, which you can use to, for example, change the side plates on the gimbal itself. And now it's time for getting the gimbal out of the packaging, and the first impressions are already very positive. So here on the right side, we see that we have this wood finish at the bottom, but there are other ones available as well. We then also have the USB Type-C input for charging and the power button. On the back, we'll then remove here the screen protector. And there we have it. We have a very nice display on the back, as well as this joystick to control the movements and 3 quick selection buttons. And then also on the back, we'll also have this trigger right here, which is always nice to see. And then last but not least, we'll here see the axis locks, or motor locks, I should rather call them. So now I'm back with my first impressions, and I have to say that they are very positive. First off, I was quite surprised to see how much accessories are actually in this small box, and then also, of course, how much smaller the new gimbal is compared to the older AK2000, which you can actually see here on the left side. The new one is significantly smaller, and let me tell you something, when it comes to equipment, size matters. Now this is because the bigger a piece of equipment is, no matter how good it is, the less likely I am to actually take it with me when we go outside to shoot. So for example, with the camera, I use the Sony Alpha 7 III, and we only basically use the 28 to 75mm Tamron lens, which I'll also be using here on this gimbal as well. But I'm not really wanting to carry like 3 or 4 different lenses. So I just want to carry one lens that's really good, and the same way I also just want to carry one gimbal that is good and very compact. Now also the build quality here on this gimbal is very nice from the first impressions. One thing that's brand new is that there actually are here a few customizable pieces, like these things here on the side, which I have here in this wooden design, but you can also get these in like a carbon finish and also a camouflage one. So if you want to customize the gimbal a little bit, it's something that you can definitely also do. And of course, the biggest improvement for me is that we have locks here on each axis. So this means that you can lock and unlock each axis one after another. This for once means that calibrating the gimbal when you set it up first is much easier because you don't have to balance them all at the same time, but you can focus on one at a time, which is much better. And also that it's much more solid. For example, if you just want to fold it together, drop it in a backpack, you don't have to be as worried as if you couldn't lock these. So I think this is a huge improvement and something that I'm really looking forward to using a lot. And also I'm very happy to see that FeiyuTech kept the display here on the back of the gimbal, because this is also something that not all gimbals have, but which is just really welcome to change settings on the fly and also to enter different modes, for example like the auto panning and stuff. So the first impression of this gimbal is very good and I can't wait to start using it, and this is what I'll do after this video is done. So thank you very much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions below that I can also then answer in my full review that's coming soon. Thanks to FeiyuTech for sending this gimbal out for review and the unboxing, and I hope to see you next time.